Hello out there, we're on the air, and it's TCNJ Hockey Night tonight in Lawrenceville. Welcome to tonight's broadcast of TCNJ ACHA Hockey live on Breakout Sports Broadcasting. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Trey Wright as we bring you tonight's coverage of TCNJ versus Canisius here on Breakout Sports Broadcasting via YouTube. We're immediately going to go downstairs for opening ceremonies here for home game number 3 of the TCNJ season.
Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the TSAI Field House in Lawrenceville, New Jersey for tonight's Northeast Collegiate Hockey League matchup between the visiting Canisius University Golden Griffins and your TCNJ Lions. Here are tonight's starting lineups presented by Breakout Sports Broadcasting, beginning with Canisius. Starting at left wing, alternate captain number 24, Ben Nymwall. At center, number 25, Nate Rive. At right wing, number 19, Dan Zacharine. At left defense, number 21, Alex Viney. At right defense, number 4, Connor Schwartz. And in goal for the Golden Griffins, number 31, Caleb Ursu. Canisius is coached by Ian Hertzbeis, assisted by Andrew Schegenberger and Stan Powell. At this time, we will be having a moment of silence to recognize Coach Steve Hendershot. Coach Hendershot passed away last week after a lengthy battle with cancer. For decades, Coach Steve has dedicated much of his free time to coaching ice hockey at all different levels, especially the Lawrenceville School's boys and girls junior varsity teams, Notre Dame High School varsity, and has been involved with our program over the last 10 years. Most recently, he was an assistant coach with our Division II team since its inaugural season in 2021 and 2022. Coach Steve was a great friend of the entire Mercer County hockey community, and especially Coach Duca. He will be sorely missed. At this time, we ask that you please rise if you're able to and turn your attention to the American flag located in the far left corner. Please remain standing as we honor America and those who defend this great nation with the playing of our national anthem.
Getting ready for puck drop here for home game number 3 of the season for the Lions after a 2-week off break. TCNJ back here at the TSAI Field House and taking on one of the more stout teams in this NECHL in the Golden Griffins of Canisius University. Taking a look at your starting lineup for the Lions once again. Jake Barrera centering Logan May and Josh Kushner. Scott Martin, team captain Scott Martin at that. And Nick Stout on the blue line. And who else? For the big boss himself, Mike Bucinich between the pipes for TCNJ. And this is a Canisius team that has been firing on all cylinders to start out 2024-25. Coming into tonight with a record of 4-0, steamrolling Duquesne last weekend. As here we go for the opening draw, Barrera and Nate Rivet will take it off, and we're underway here at TSAI. Coming back into the TCNJ end, Ben Amel will take it away as it comes back over to Nick Stout. Pfeiffer along the near wall, and it's cleared out by Canisius. Pass intended for Zachary was a little bit off target as Kushner will take it back over into the Canisius zone. Kushner fighting for it, trying to dig at it there with Zacharine. Sent into the zone by Scott Martin. Kushner will attack back. Second line coming on, Matthew Greenspoon, Jack Ellis on for this line as Canisius a little bit offside. And will stop play here. 49 seconds into this game. And like we said, TCNJ on a little bit of a win streak coming into tonight. On a 1-game winning streak as they downed Lehigh 5-2 all the way back on the 21st of September. As that one sent in the zone a little too far for Ellis. And Canisius will try and get it back away. In their own end, Matt Bowen trying to get it out. Kept it in by Sislo and right at the doorstep, another opportunity. Beautiful chance. No, says Caleb Ursu, as he will face a flurry of chances in front tonight. And now we're going to get a quick whistle here. So it looks like the puck went up into the netting. So look at Ursu's stats for the Kitchener, Ontario native. 1-0 on the season. Allowed 4 goals in the last game against Duquesne. TCNJ will win the draw. Comes over to Sislo. He sends one from long range. Pass over with the hand to Ellis. And a flurry of white jerseys in the zone. Now taking it out there is Okulowicz for Canisius. Bowen trying to skate through the defense, but he is brought down offside. And a correction for those at home, Alex Viney wearing the number 21 instead of 20 tonight for this Canisius program. Alex Gatsonis will take the draw back. Going all the way back over to Matthew Karabko. And the Lions trying to get it out of their own end. Here's Pacholski along the near wall once again, hounded by navy blue jerseys as the Golden Griffins will take it back out. Jagger North. Dumping and chasing, Bucinich will cover up right at the far post. And we'll get a stoppage here. About 2 minutes gone in the opening period. Taking a look at Mike Bucinich's stats. Got his first win of the campaign 2 weeks ago against the Mountain Hawks of Lehigh. 1-1 on the season. 92.8 save percentage. As he looks to have another all-star performance against an all-star team. That one brought in on offside as TCNJ has to cover up. Karabko hit in the corner, and Gatsonis will set up in his own end. Back to Colin Helkowski. He gets absolutely murked at the line by Geronimo White Duck. White Duck in his first game back with Canisius after taking a fighting major in the first game against Duquesne last weekend. North hit hard into the boards there by Colin Phillips. Rather, that was Rich Stefanik who hit him into the boards. Kept into the line by Schwartz, one of the alternate captains on this Canisius program. Now Gatsonis fighting for it with the 22. of Liam Wicks. Long range chance, Fanning on the shot. Now Bucinich doesn't know where it is, and it's in the back of the net. A shot from Schwartz at long range, and Canisius gets on the board less than 3 minutes into the game, 1-0 Golden Griffins. And it's going to be the number 11 team captain of Jesse Calhoun with his second goal of the season for the grad student from Lancaster, New York. And TCNJ already playing a little bit behind here. Now the Lions with Joey Greenspoon trying to spring Santo the other direction, but we're a little offside. Canisius will take advantage of that as it comes back across over to Calhoun. Santo over, hit hard, and the boards there was the number 6 of Josh Kulowitz. Taking a back across is Liam Wicks. Canisius will dump it out into their own end and will clear. It's going to be Calhoun from Kyle Neudorf and Liam Wicks there at 17:01 in the first.
Canisius goal, his second of the season, scored by number 11, Jesse Calhoun, assisted by number 18, Kyle Neudorf, and number 22, Liam Wicks. Time of the goal, 17 minutes, 1 second. That's Calhoun's second from Neudorf and Wicks at 17:01 in the first period.
And this is a Canisius team that is yet to lose so far in 24-23, and now 24-25 as we're going to get a penalty against the Lions. Skating to the benches, Ursu, and Bucinich will make the save. We'll see what the call is, as it's going to be an interference minor against the Lions, and they will quickly go on their first penalty kill of the evening. And it's going to be Joey Greenspoon. We'll go to the sin bin for a pair for the interference minor with 15:59 to go in the first.
TCNJ minor penalty assessed to number 48, Joey Greenspoon, 2 minutes for interference. Time of the penalty, 15 minutes, 59 seconds. Greenspoon, 2 for interference, 15:59 in the first period.
So Canisius' power play will get its first opportunity. It comes all the way to Bowen at the bumper slot. We'll send it across to Jagger North. Rather, that's Wicks, actually, in Jonah Aherns, as Calhoun sends one from the mid-slot. Good save from Bucinich, his first save of the evening. 2-1 the shot ratio they go, as TCNJ will clear that out of the zone, and this is the first interconference game for this Lions program against Canisius. Canisius has really been dominating this rivalry, has won 5 of the last 6 games, rather 4 of the last 5 games, as Calhoun tries to set one up over to Aherns. Bucinich is able to put the pad on. Katsonis trying to backhand it out of harm's way, and he does. It's power play for Canisius, first in the NECHL so far, operating at a mind-boggling 60%. But it's Logan May looking for the shorthanded opportunity, was dogged behind the cage, and partial opportunity is spinning around there. Was Canisius. Coming back over to Rivet. Rivet leads the team in scoring, 5 goals so far on the season in 4 games. Looking to add a 6th here in game number 5 of their season. Trying to spring on the other side was Kaluzny, and that'll be cleared out of the zone. 27 seconds to go in the Greenspoon minor penalty. TCNJ looking for their first successful kill of the evening on their first kill, as skating into the zone and spinning away from a spinning Colin Phillips was Liam Wicks once again. 11 seconds now to go in the Canisius power play. Schwartz back across over, trying to get it through the area. Schwartz will take a shot, blocked in front by Phillips, and that'll end the power play. Back to 5-on-5, and now TCNJ are going to get their own power play, as it looks like it's going to be Nate Rivet for a roughing call, as he absolutely reamed Nick Santo into the boards. Rather, it's going to be a cross-check against Rivet. And the kid from Quebec will go 2 for cross-checking, and the Lions will get their first power play opportunity of the evening.
Canisius minor penalty number 25, Nate Reve, 2 minutes for cross-checking. Time of the penalty, 13 minutes, 51 seconds. Reve, 2 minutes for cross-checking, 13:51 in the first period.
Starts off with a win for the Lions. Helkowski will take it out the bumper slot, trying to spring May for a short side chance. At the other end, May will send one through traffic. Patted aside there by Ursu. Comes back up to Helkowski at the top. Over to Ellis. Back across. Martin will lose it off of the tape. He'll spin it along the half wall. Will try and get all the way across. May was swatting at it. Ellis lines up a shot. And they're going to say that it did not go in as the net was being knocked off. Sticks went up in the air and white jerseys were celebrating, but the referees waved the goal off as trying to go through the back end of the cage. And we'll get a face-off at center ice. Rather will come out of the zone as Ellis will take the draw off. $1:24 to go in the minor penalty against Reve. And it'll come up to Helkowski. Colin Helkowski shakes off a hit. Trying to get it across all the way over to Phillips. And May will take it back. All the way over to Martin. Long range chance. A howitzer goes wide. And it'll go all the way out of the cage. Now a minute to go in the minor penalty. Two Lions collide. That was Martin, who was one of them that collided with each other. And this top power play unit still on for TCNJ. Martin will slow the tempo, will spring May down the far side. May will dump in and chase. 40 seconds to go in the penalty to Reve. Backhanding it is Ellis. Trying to set up for Pachalski, comes back to Ellis. A crossover the way through Martin. Ellis is able to keep it in the zone, sends wood on net, deflected aside. Two shots so far on this TCNJ power play. Looking to get the game-tying goal. Early in the first, May sends one on, just goes over the corner of the net. 16 seconds to go. Canisius will clear it all the way out. A beautiful clear there from Connor Schwartz. And TCNJ's top power play unit still on the ice. 4 seconds to go, and that will do it. Bowen will take it back into his own end, and we're back to 5-on-5. He's trying to spring a long-range opportunity there for Okulowicz. Wasn't successful. Ahern sends one back. Okulowicz lines the gun. That one goes over the bar. Ahern's back with it. Lining one up and teeing one off was Kaluzny. He is unsuccessful. And Gilly trying to get it out. North is able to keep it in for a brief moment. And here come the Lions. Partial 2-on-1 if they hurry. Gatsonis is trying to get out of harm's way. Pachalski trying to put it in the back of the net. Comes back to Kaluzny. Sent back out of the neutral territory where TCNJ will take it. Now Stout nearly in a little bit of trouble there. Kaluzny back with it. Approaching the midway point in this first period. The lead 11 minutes down, and number 11 from Canisius, Jesse Calhoun, the only goal scorer in this game so far, to give the Golden Griffins a 1-0 lead. Joey Greenspoon trying to knot things up, sends it across all the way over, intercepted by Aherns, and he'll flip it out. And Walter is going to have to chase that all the way down the other end of the ice. His icing was waved off. Walter and Stout will come back on it. Stout will send it in. Taken away there by the number 14, Kyle Neudorf. Stout trying to dig it away. Liam Wicks is digging at it himself. Wicks will keep the puck. Spins around, gives himself a little bit of space. Lines one up right into the glove of Mike Busenich, his best save of the evening so far. And that was actually Geronimo White Duck who just absolutely blasted that from the far point. Gatsonis will win the draw, gets it away from Calhoun. Set it up for Matt Sislow. Collins trying to take it away. Gatsonis trying to get it out of the zone, taken away by White Duck. White Duck now trying to hound down Gatsonis. And White Duck will take it away, and he'll set it back up there for Quinn Collins. Not being able to corral the puck there was Lekumsky. And Wicks with a little burst of speed, splitting through the defense. Nice move. Last-ditch effort from Sislo. Does enough to break up the breakaway opportunity. White Duck from the point. Swatted out of the air. Businic is trying to cover right at the doorstep. Businic says no! Oh, my goodness. Kyle Neudorf thought he had a sure red light there, and Businic stops the puck, and he shuts the door. And there is a reason that he is goaltender number 1 on this team. Mike Businic, take a bow. Canisius, 6 shots already in this game. It's TCNJ trying to find their legs. Schwartz and Matthew Greenspoon will come together. Schwartz just trying to dig it out of there and trying to spring the other direction for Zacharine. That one taken aback as Viney was chasing for it. Trying to dig it out of there was Ben Namel. Viney digging at it. Zacharine will steer it out of harm's way over to Rivet. Back over to Zacharine, but the pass a little too hot to handle as Rivet not able to do it. Pad save there from Businic. Long range chance from Rivet. Stout will collect it into the defensive zone. Sends it along the high glass a little too far for Jack Ellis. Icing waved off as Ursu will take it back. Gully trying to get it away from Viney. Viney will send it up the half wall. Well, he'll find Schwartz. Sending it up ice, swatted away by Businic once again. And TCNJ will collect. Gully setting it up for Helkowski. 1-on-2 opportunity. He's sandwiched between a couple of navy and gold jerseys. Pachalski over to Helkowski, and it'll come back to Calhoun. Pass a little too far in front for Jagger and North, and that'll go for an icing. 7:54 to go in the opening period. Canisius leading 1-0. 7-2, the shots on goal ratio so far in this one. I'd like to take a moment to thank everybody for coming out to tonight's game, watching tonight's stream as Bowen will send one up and trying to skate up the ice. There is Canisius. Trying to take one out of there was the 15 of Lekumsky, but he was brought down. Now Gully with North right behind him. Right at the doorstep was Helkowski. He couldn't get the puck on the tape. Back across, nearly redirected in by a Golden Griffin, and Lekumsky will clear it out of his own end. That one will be behind his home blue line, so Lekumsky will ice it. And a little bit more time dwindling down here in period number 1. Face off the left-hand side. The Kitchener, Ontario native. Ursu only playing in 1 game so far this season, but he is the hot hand. It's Lekumsky will get it taken away by May. Kushner is able to get it, and he's going to break the twig clean in half. Kushner needs a new stick. He'll get one from Andrew Duco, and Bowen with an opportunity trying to take advantage of the confusion. Bowen blocked in front by Gatsonis, who got down to one knee. Get up to May, who gets it to Kushner. Kushner, seam pass all the way back over to May. Logan May sends one in, blocked into the netting by Jesse Calhoun. Rather, that'll be 14 of White Duck. And another stoppage here as these two teams definitely come into play here tonight. Like we said, it's a rivalry game between these two programs. Canisius wins the draw, nearly taken away by Greenspoon. North will come together with Stout for a brief moment. And both 91s are on for the ice as Collins will send it in. Intended for North, pass a little too hot. They'll come back over to Martin. Martin to Stout. Blocked at the line by North, and Canisius will set up. Ahern sends one in, trying to get it all the way to North, but he was tied up with Stout. And a burst of speed from Joey Greenspoon. Another big burst of speed from one of the goal scorers against Lehigh 2 weeks ago. It'll come up to Kaluzny. Puts the brakes on, gets it up to North. North trying to set one back over. Bucinich in transition. And North wasn't able to get the shot off. Comes back to Aherns. 6 minutes ago in the first period, shot goes wide. Aherns was looking for the rebound, rather that was North, as Aherns will come back to collect. Back across at the point. Collins sends it back over. White duck through traffic, waffle boarded into the boards by Bucinich. Backhanded across. Canisius starting to buzz here as the referee jumps over the biscuit. Collins lays the boom. That one through traffic, right over the bar. North was robbed by air. Greenspoon now takes it out of his own end, and he'll get on his horse. Joey Greenspoon is blocked once again by Geronimo White Duck. And it'll be another stoppage, just a few clicks ahead of 5 to go here in period number 1. It's been a good one so far here tonight. Is take a look at our brothers over in Wayne for a brief moment. We'll get you caught up on the Ramapo game once we know the score, as the Griffs will take it out of their own end, and here he comes on a partial breakaway opportunity. They score! A beautiful burst of speed there from Kyle Neudorf, and Canisius will double up their lead 2-0. Neudorf with a dart right between the 5-hole, and it looks like Wicks and Depanidra will get assists. We'll know shortly. 5:17 to go in the opening frame, and TCNJ already playing a little bit from behind. Right now it is 3-2 in favor of Fordham. So they're up at Ramapo. That one sent into the corner by Bucinich. Wicks sends it in. That one goes over the bar. Under 5 to play in the first period. TCNJ just trying to find any sort of legs they can. Gali gets it across. Sislo sees it taken away as Halkowski can't take that one down. Icing waved off as Schwartz will take it back. Schwartz at the doorstep. Calhoun will take it away. Sets it back up for DiPiandra. And Karabka will get it over to Gatsonis. Gatsonis in his own end, trying to get it away from Calhoun, and that will go down for an icing. 4:20 to go in the opening frame, and Canisius smoking TCNJ right now in the shot category, 9-2.
Canisius goal, his third of the season, scored by number 18, Kyle Neudorf, assisted by number 22, Liam Wicks, and number 11, Jesse Calhoun. Time of the goal, 5 minutes, 17 seconds. That's Neudorf's second from Wicks and Calhoun at 5:17 in the first period.
Halkowski will put on the brakes, sets it across. Martin loading the gun. That one blocked in front. Ursu doesn't have it. Still loose at the point. Still loose in the blue line. Halkowski digging for it. And the referees blow the play dead. And now we'll get some pleasantries. Pachalski starting to get into it. He'll throw the twig aside. As it looks like the fours came together, or that was Nate Rivet, it looks like, who is get into it. Either Rivet or Bowen. I saw a 5 there, and it doesn't look like we're going to get any penalties from the little bit of rough stuff between these two NECHL rivals. Canisius, of course, has won the last 3 contests against this TCNJ team, one of those being in the NECHL playoffs back in 23. Swept TCNJ last season. Just trying to get it through. The defense trying to spring it all the way over was the Canisius. They can't get it in. That was Bandolin. Had a burst of speed right at the doorstep, looking for an opportunity there was Andrew Johnson. It's his 4th line for Canisius has come to play tonight. Kushner sends one back, nobody's home. Still kept into the zone there by Logan May. And May will see that come out of the zone. Scott Martin sends one in, takes a funky bounce off of Johnson, and Ursu will cover up with 3:11 to go. And now being hit after the play there. Couldn't tell if that was Kushner. It is going to be Kushner. And that's going to be Geronimo White Duck who's going to go to the box there. A late hit on Kushner. And it's going to be 2 for roughing against White Duck. So another power play opportunity for TCNJ. 3:11 to go in the opening frame, trying to draw within 1 of this Golden Griffs team.
Canisius minor penalty number 14, Geronimo White Duck, 2 minutes for roughing. Time in the penalty, 3 minutes 11 seconds. White Duck, 2 minutes for roughing, 3:11 to go in the first period.
So White Duck in the box for roughing rather. And a little bit of a confusion on who's going to come on here, as it's going to be Kushner who'll be in, as Kushner is going to go to the box for unsportsmanlike. So we'll play 4-on-4.
Correction on the penalty. TCNJ number 7, Josh Kushner, 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct.
So we'll get 4-on-4 between these two teams with under 3 to go in the opening period. And looking for 3 is Canisius. Aherns will take it out of the zone and slow the tempo a little bit for this Golden Griffs squad. Back over to Viney. Viney hit from behind, and now we're going to get a rare 4-on-3 power play for Canisius. And that was a textbook hit from behind there from the number 23 of Rich Stefanik. So really nothing you can do there. If you're TCNJ, that's about as textbook as it gets there, as Stefanik will serve 2 for hit from behind.
TCNJ minor penalty number 23, Rich Stefanik, 2 minutes for hit from behind. Time of the penalty, 2 minutes 39 seconds. Stefanik, 2 for hitting from behind, 2:39 in the first period.
So like we said, a rare power play that is 4 against 3. And again, looking for 3 are Canisius as they'll dig at the puck. North and Aherns trying to get it in the near zone, comes back out to Bowden. Bowden right through the legs of North, but just barely stopped at the 11th hour by Bucinich. And North has had, he thought he's had a couple of surefire goals so far in this one. He's just been robbed twice by Bucinich. Calhoun will take it back across to Schwartz. Captain to alternate captain, back over to another alternate captain as Nabel will take it at the point. Sending it across, back over to Napool. He'll set it back up for Connor Schwartz. Schwartz will send it in. Calhoun sends it to Claude Rains all the way over the blue line, and the Golden Griffs will take it in their own end. 35 seconds to go in the 4-on-3, and Neudorf will hit the ice. Surprised that wasn't a coincidental for tripping and rather embellishment there, as Neudorf kind of soccer played it there. He was in the low slot, nobody was home. Now Calhoun trying to take it away there from Gatsonis. Calhoun right up high, blocked there by Bucinich, and he'll cover the rebound. Ramapo down 3-2 to Fordham. And our friends over at Rider University across 295 currently down 2-1. Down against the Ice Pack of NC State. And right now down by a pair themselves are the Lions, 2-0 to the top team in the NECHL right now. They'll win the draw. Aherns will get it, sets it back over to Wicks. Wicks to Aherns. Aherns looking for an opportunity. Wicks right down Broadway. What a block there from Lagriola. 4-on-3 will expire. Still a power play for North, and it just goes over the bar. 3 opportunities for Jagger North, and he has been snake bitten all 3 times that is the closest the sophomore from Burlington, Ontario has come to lighting the lamp.
One minute remaining in the first period.
17 seconds to go in the power play. North with an opportunity, just goes wide again. Back across to Aherns. Aherns loading it up for Bowen. Back over to Aherns. Aherns to Bowen. They play catch with it. 5 seconds to go in the Stefanik penalty. Stefanik opening the door. Preparing to get out Annie Will, and we're back to even strength. 2 successful kills for this TCNJ unit. But still pinned in their own zone. Blocked in front by Lagriola. He'll try and get Greenspoon back up. As rather that was Santo who was hit by Bowen behind the play. 18 seconds to go. Canisius looking for another one. North with a spurt of opportunity. Puts on the brakes, lines one up. That one goes off the side of the netting. 10 seconds to go. Golden Griffins with another opportunity. One final chance for Canisius. Spinning around there is Neudorf. Sends one through traffic right in front and just goes off the paddle and behind the cage. And that'll end period number 1. So goals from Jesse Calhoun and Kyle Neudorf bring us to the first intermission as the Lions trailed the Golden Griffins 2-0 here after 20. And we're back here on Breakout Sports Broadcasting, about to wrap up the first intermission here from the TSAI Field House. TCNJ trailing Canisius 2-0. We'll get you a little bit of a recap here of period number 1. It started with Jesse Calhoun putting into the back of the 4x6 his second goal of the season. And this third line for the Golden Griffins so far has been electric. Those three alone have the only 6 points in this game so far. Calhoun from Kyle Neudorf and Liam Wicks going right winger to center to left winger. And then it was almost identically the inverse there with Kyle Neudorf getting in on the action with about 5 minutes to go. Got it from Liam Wicks and Jesse Calhoun. So a goal and an assist for both Neudorf and Calhoun. Wicks with 2 apples so far tonight, looking to get in on the scoring himself. Another guy who's been snake bitten so far in this game is Jagger North for this Golden Griffins team. But both teams will come back out onto the ice. And we'll get set here to start period number 2. As we'll get you a quick score update here. Currently, Ramapo is in intermission. They now trail, actually they are tied with Fordham, 3-3 going into the third. Been in intermission for the last 7 minutes or so, so 5 minutes until period number 3 will start up in Ramapo. And period number 2, a little delayed here between Ryder and NC State, as the Bronx trail the Ice Pack 2-1. Widener is off tonight as far as we know. If we get a score for them, we'll get you that information. And same thing goes for Rutgers as well. We'll get you that information as soon as we get it for your out-of-town scores. 35 seconds to go in the intermission. Linesmen, referees, players and skaters and goaltenders ready to go here. And put the pen to the paper for period number 2, as TCNJ looks to start a little bit of a win streak. After a 2-week break where they split the weekend against the Mountain Hawks of Lehigh, looking to come back in this weekend doubleheader against Canisius. Meeting at the dot are Barrera and Aherns, and we're underway for the middle period. Scott Martin will send it in. TCNJ only having 5 shots on Caleb Ursu in that entire period. And trying to get it out of there was Kaluzny. Kushner will chase after it. Aherns will send it all the way back as Stout will take it in his own end. Pass goes underneath Barrera's stick, but icing is waved off as Barrera was able to touch the puck. Now May is knocked off by Wicks there. Taken back, hit hard into the boards was Kushner. Actually, Kushner with a hard hit there on Aherns, it looks like. And Kaluzny trying to take it around, looking for the no-look pass as he'll absolutely knock Scott Martin into the boards, and Stout is on his horse. Stoutly carrying the puck, but he's not able to get it. He's pickpocketed from behind, and Kaluzny will clear it, and Bucinich will cover. Crash in the net there was North, and he and Kushner will exchange some words and some pleasantries. 55 seconds into the middle period, TCNJ down 2-0. At the draw, it'll be Wicks and Stefanik taking it. Stefanik will win it. It comes back over to Matt Sislow. Sislow off the boards, taken away, goes from 14 to 14. Sislow trying to take after it, and a long-range chance from the red line from Walter, nearly catching Ursu off guard. Back with it is Sislow. He'll send another long-range chance on goal, and once again, he'll come back over to the other 14 as White Duck will take it away. White Duck back over to Neudorf. Sends it up. Wicks on the biscuit. Calhoun to his right. Wicks looking for his first goal, and he wires one. Looking for the backwards no-look opportunity was Calhoun. And unable to keep it into the zone are the Golden Griffins. Walter will send it up. Calhoun will intercept. Rebounds off of his tape. He'll come back over to Walter. Will send it up for Ellis. Walter to Ellis, back over to Walter. He can't corral it, comes back over to Matt Sislo. Sislo across to Stefanik. TCNJ trying to get it out of their own zone, as hit hard at the near board was Ellis. Walter, Sislo trying to fight for it right at the doorstep, over the cage there. And another opportunity for Ben Namel. Back at the point, Collins from long range, blocked by Sislo. And he'll send one in. Dumping in for a fresh pair of skaters are the Lions. Pachalski will lay a hit behind the play, and that'll go the length of the ice for an icing. 17:32 to go. Already 2 shots on the Caleb Ursu. So far in this period, Mike Bucinich has faced 1. Lions still trailing by a pair. Again, these 2 teams will face here tomorrow afternoon, a matinee matchup, as Gatsonis will send that in, blocked in front by a blue jersey. Namel trying to get it away from Gatsonis, but a good pack check there from one of the alternate captains of this Lions team. Canisius trying to set up shop. Namel can't quite slow that down. He'll come back over to Schwartz. He's pinned to the boards by Halkowski. And Gatsonis will take it up ice. Lost the puck on the tape, and he'll instead dump it in. Bowen will take it. Hounded from behind by Halkowski, it looks like. Trying to get out of their own end, and a 2-on-1. Here comes Reve. Reve will go right into the breadbasket. Bucinich once again says, nuh-uh. A screaming comment from Quebec for Nate Reve, the junior from Montreal, with a little bit of a rocket. One of 4 skaters on this Canisius team from the Great White North, 2 of them from La Belle Provence. It's taken down right in front of the referee, and Santo will get a little hit up high. Referees will play on. This is Bowen. Taken in the far corner. Scramble for the puck between blue and white jerseys. That one skips over the stick of Bowen, and Schwartz will have to track back. He's hitting the boards by Greenspoon. Game starts to take a little bit of a physical turn. And a big green light hit right in front of the Canisius bench there. Another opportunity, Lagriola thought he had a green light to go for a breakaway as he's hit there after the play. Taken away. Here comes Greenspoon. Joey Greenspoon puts one on to Ursu. Follow-up chance covered up there. Ursu saying no. The way this kid has been playing so far in this game, and in his young ACHA career, you never know. Kitchener Rangers might want to take a look at this kid up in the OHL. Stout will take it back on his own end, intercepted by Aherns. Once again, intercepted by Lagriola. He'll send one in. That's actually Barrera who puts a shot on to Ursu. Barrera still trying to fight for the biscuit. Sends it back to the point for Martin. TCNJ trying to set up shop their own, but is taken back there by Depriandrina. And Aherns with an opportunity. Partial 2-on-1 if they hurry, but North was a tad offsides, according to the linesman, much to the chagrin of this Canisius bench. .23 to go in period number 2. Trailing by 2 are the Lions. Winning the draw were the Golden Griffins. That was shot from long range, denied by Bucinich once again. Sislo holds things at the far point. Back to Collins. Collins from long range, redirected in front, just squirts past the goal line. Keeping it in his White Duck through not any traffic. He was able to find a lane right into the blocker of Bucinich. He'll cover. Bucinich once again keeping his team in this game. It started out with batting for 1,000 Canisius was. getting a goal on their first shot on Mike Bucinich. He is 13 for 15 so far, 9 for 9 rather, on the other end, and Greenspoon brought down, no call. Matty Greenspoon intercepted in front by Kyle Neudorf. Greenspoon trying to take it away. He'll set it back up for Sislo. Sislo and Walter now playing on the D pairing together as Greenspoon will clear it back out. Into neutral territory it comes. Collins will try and get it up for Namel. He can't get it, comes back over to Collins. Quinn Collins sends it up to Geronimo White Duck. And Calhoun and Neudorf for a little shaken up on the play, a little confusion there, and Quinn Collins will take it himself. Collins lost a little bit of a step. That'll give possession back over to TCNJ. Bucinich will slow the puck over for Matt Sislo. Sislo takes it in over to Ellis. Off the skate of Greenspoon, and just trying to get it out of there are the Lions, and finally back into the neutral zone. Long range dump in on net from Canisius. They'll register another save from Mike Bucinich. Now hammering it into the boards was Canisius. Another opportunity right in front. Nobody knows where it is, and nearly tapped in by Namel. Zacharine had an opportunity on the far end. Bowen keeps it in over to Zacharine. Zacharine gets a stick lifted by Sislo. Sislo loses the stick. Nobody knows where the puck was as Sislo will grab the twig back. Buzzing are the Golden Griffins. Looking for it was Namel. Pachalski just trying to get it out of there. Skating and across. Pachalski has the stick knocked out. Paul Baccio is none too pleased with the refs not calling a hook, as Zacharine just trying to corral this puck. He's in on sign, hit from Greenspoon. Greenspoon and Zacharine will hold each other like they're prom dates at the ball. Namel sends one in off of the glove of Bucinich. And trying to get it there is Rivet. Rivet and Greenspoon come together back across. North robbed once again, and the follow-up chance up into the high netting. 12:45 to go in the second. Make that scoring chance number 5 so far for Jagger North in this one. Looking to get his first goal of the season. He has had 5 opportunities so far tonight. And doubling up the shot ratio are the Golden Griffs, 20-9. And we'll redo the face-off as a little bit of a false start there from Joey Greenspoon. Scott Martin will come into his place. Rather, that's Lagriola. Keeping it in is Schwartz at the blue line of Gatsonis. Gatsonis will come together. He's trying to take it away is Gatsonis, and he's just trying to clear it out back over to Santo. Santo sees it blocked in front. Karabko will take it away from Lekumsky. And that went a little too far out and ahead of Santo. And it'll go the length of the ice for yet another icing call. Aherns and Greenspoon at the draw. It's won by the Golden Griffins. Shot through traffic from Calnuzzi. No dice there. Karabko colliding with him. North trying to get it to Aherns. Puck a little too much mustard on the shot, and Gatsonis takes it behind Businich's office. Santo trying to glove it out. Calnuzzi will take it back into the zone. North sends it in, intended for Aherns. Shot with too much mustard again. That one in front. North wasn't paying attention to the play, but he's able to get it off. Another opportunity at the doorstep for Aherns. He can't pull the trigger. Santo again, back up to Schwartz through traffic. What a save from Bucinich. Keeps this a 2-goal game. Back across through traffic again. Howitzard into the high glass. That was Kobe Depadrina, Kobe Depadrina, who was shooting that up with 11:34 to go in period number 2. May will take it, trying to get Kushner on the other end. Now Kushner racing for the loose puck. Collins will take it away. Kushner with a hit high there on Collins. Referees will let him play on. TCNJ just trying to get their first shot on net in 5 minutes. Has an opportunity here. May with a lot of speed and finesse looking for an opportunity. Kushner wasn't quite there. Sends it through the blue paint and out of play. Out of the zone rather, but it pops back in. To register as a shot on net as Stout will take it, and the Lions will set up in their own end. Kushner looking for options in the slot, no dice there, and taking it all the way over. Opportunity for this third line again, as that was a shot from Neudorf. White Duck sends it in. Trying to kick it in there was Neudorf. He can't get it in. White Duck with one last opportunity, and Bucinich will cover that one up. Again, Bus has done his job so far, but his team has not been able to score goals on the other end. And again, this is just what we've seen out of TCNJ so far this season is just offense really hasn't been clicking just yet. They did score 4 goals in their first game of the season, but then they only scored 1. Then they scored 1 again, and were able to put 4 past Ben Spire 2 weeks ago, but have not been able to get anything past Ursu just yet tonight. That could change as Ellis was trying to take it. TCNJ to lay it offside. They'll have to tag up. And Name will take it across. Name will try to get it away. Instead, will come back over to TCNJ as Colin Phillips will try and get it over. Hit into the boards was Sislo. He'll get back up to the skates. Zacharine was intended for Bowen, a pass, but it's just a little too far back. Bowen and Shorts tagging up. That one deflected in front by Gali, and Ursu will make the stop. Cue the Bon Jovi. We're past the halfway point in this one. In case you're just tuning in, Canisius leads 2-0. Leads in the shot category as well, 11-24. Goals from Jesse Calhoun and Kyle Neudorf put us where we are. Both those goals coming in the first period. Nothing so far in the middle frame. Past the halfway point in period number 2. That one appeared to hit Nick Stout on the bench, but they're going to not call it, and now we're going to get a quick whistle here. And it's going to be a cross-checking minor. We'll see who it is, and it looks like it's going to be number 15 of Lekumsky once again. So TCNJ's power play gets another opportunity to operate.
Canisius minor penalty number 15, Brandon Lekumsky, 2 minutes for cross-checking. Time of penalty, 9 minutes, 35 seconds. Lekumsky, 2 minutes for cross-checking, 9:35 in the second period.
So 0 for 3 is his TCNJ power play so far. Helkowski loses it, trying to take it away there was Stefanik. And now a breakaway opportunity. The other way, and just off the inside of the post. Oh, Bandolin thought he had an open cage, and it just went wide. TCNJ will take it back the other way. 5 skaters on. Lions trying to get back in this game. Howitzer from May goes into the glass. Shot from May. Opportunity for May as he'll try and get it. He'll spring it across. Ellis will collect at the other side. At the far wall, Ellis through traffic. Stefanik was looking for the redirect. May will take it back. May continues to spin around, gets a stick lifted by Schwartz, comes back over to Ellis. He'll send one from long range, off for the post. Nobody knows where it is. Oh my goodness gracious, what an opportunity for TCNJ. That was batted out of midair by Rich Stefanik, and back-to-back post being hit here. That was Bandolin being robbed on the other end, and Rich Stefanik. Oh my goodness. best chance of the night for the Lions so far, and they can't connect. And that was just a baseball bat play there from Stefanik and just going square off the iron. Oh boy, let's catch our breaths here. Phillips will send it in, 37 seconds to go in the penalty against Lekumsky. Going over the bar once again. May will take it back. Martin from long range. Shot steered aside. Helkowski keeps it alive. May gets it back to the point. Martin takes it. Ellis from long range. He scores! Jack Ellis on the power play cuts the deficit in half. And it's actually going to go to Colin Phillips, who redirected it in front. We'll see what the official scoring is. 7:56 to go, a power play goal for the Lions, and they're on the board. We'll see what the official scoring is in a minute. But what a way to get back into this one, and now trailing only by one are the Lions. Sending one in, Busanic will cover up. And it is going to go to Colin Phillips. Assists from Logan May and Jack Ellis, so Ellis will indeed get a point. Here is the call.
TCNJ goal! His first of the season, scored by number 26, Colin Phillips. Assisted by number 21, Logan May. And by number 9, Jack Ellis. Time of the goal, 7 minutes, 51 seconds. That's Phillips' first of the season from May and Ellis at 7:51 in the second period.
So the Lions will get on the board here. 7:30 to go in period number 2. And it was Ellis who shot it all the way from the point, and it looks like it redirected off of both May and Phillips. So that is where we stand on the goal, and the Lions right back into this one. Blocked away by Busanic once again. Kaluzny trying to set things up again. Kaluzny back ends it. At the point, going high and out of the air. Sislo digging for it. And in his own zone is Ellis. Nearly had an opportunity the other side there for Stefanik for a breakaway. 7 minutes to go. Bowden will backhand it over for Kaluzny. Kaluzny at the point. Blocked in front. Stefanik with an opportunity, but he's out of gas. He just has to backhand it the other way. Ellis wasn't able to reinforce him in time. That would have been a good opportunity for TCNJ, but their skaters were gassed. Jagger North will hit the ice. Aherns will go to one knee. Aherns still spinning around right at the doorstep. Nabel couldn't connect. Nabel backhanded it wide of the cage, sends it through the blue paint again, and North can't get it again. Now Kushner dances around White Duck like a swan, and it comes over to Aherns. Aherns spins off a hit. Kushner trying to fight with it with North. Kushner will win that battle. Nearly hitting the boards there, and now will be hitting the helmet, no call. Long range opportunity goes wide of Busanic. North with a hit there. TCNJ the other direction. This is Gatsonis. Taken out, and Namel just trying to clear it out of his own end, and Canisius playing a little bit on their heels here as Logan May will set it up. Over to Kushner. Kushner trying to get it out. Canisius barely onside as Collins will send one off of the high glass. 5:36 to go in the second period. TCNJ trailing 2-1 off of a power play goal from Colin Phillips, the sophomore from nearby Hamilton, getting on the board here midway through this game. Logan May, who had an assist on that goal, sends one in. That one patted aside by Ursu. And Canisius will keep this back and forth play coming. Sending it in on Busenich, he'll cover. 5:12 to go, and what a game it has been so far. So we'll check in our scores. So rather it was not, so Ramapo and Fordham was not tied at 3-3. In fact, it was 3-2 when we checked, and now it is 4-2 Rams. And Ryder trailing 3-1 to NC State right now as we'll get your out-of-town scores. We'll see if we can get updates from Rutgers and Widener. If the Pride are playing tonight, we'll get confirmations on that during the second intermission. But that, of course, is then. This is now, and another opportunity for the Griffs at the doorstep. Mike Busenich covering it up. So it seemed that both scores flipped as Busenich will make the save. Another beautiful stretch out save from the Bus. That shot goes wide. Schwartz with an opportunity. Trying to take it there is Lekumsky. He's blocked in front. Loading the gun again was Canisius. Lekumsky had a stick lifted for a brief moment. Comes back over. Bandolin trying to send one in. Bandolin again, who was robbed on a breakaway opportunity, would have made this a 3-0 game. Instead, it's 2-1. Lekumsky is hounded from behind. Pacholski trying to take it away. Schwartz and Pacholski will come together as the fours collide. Bandolin keeps it in at the zone. Lekumsky is unable to keep possession of it, and Stout will send it behind, and he is nearly railroaded by Andrew Johnson. Just not able to take it in there was Alex Viney, as that'll be sent the length of the ice. Icing is waved off, however, as Schwartz will track back and take it. And like I was saying, as we'll get a little bit of a lull moment here, like I was saying, it's funny how TCNJ was trailing by 2 goals this whole time, and our other teams that we broadcast were trailing by 1, as Newdorf sending it in off the shoulder of Busenich. Make that save number 31 of the evening for the Big Bus. Sending it in for Newdorf. Shot goes wide. Bowden sends one in. Another block there and another save. Making another save for Busenich. They're missing about 3 or 4 saves so far on the scoreboard. And Phillips with the lone goal for the Lions. Rather, that's Scott Martin who's able to take it out of harm's way. Back on the other end, Busenich blocks the initial shot. Rebound deflected out of there. And Pacholski was hit by Calhoun behind the play. Here comes Lagriola. Spinning away, waiting for reinforcements. Instead, it comes to a white jersey, a blue jersey, and nearly an opportunity there. That was Santo who couldn't get it out. Dump out from all the way over, gets over to Busenich. He'll make out another stop. Canisius with all the opportunities in the world so far, but only have been able to put 2 on the board. Sislow sends it along the far wall. He is dumped down by a pair of Griffins. Cleared out. Ahern's looking for an opportunity. Ahern's on a 2-on-2, waiting across, back over to Kaluzny, going for the between the legs pass, and Sislow absolutely dumping Kaluzny, and he's down. And we're going to get a whistle here as Kaluzny took a very hard hit into the corner from Sislow, and he is waving for the trainer to come over. And that was an unfortunate set of circumstances there. That was Connor Kaluzny just trying to go for the whip around shot. Missed it wide, and then Sislow wasn't having any of that, and a very violent hit into Kaluzny. Kaluzny crumpled in the corner, and he was able to wave for the trainer to come get him, so that's a good sign there, but still down, as we'll have a little bit of a holding pattern here for an injury to Connor Kaluzny. He's still down, and when we have a moment, like we said. It's a little bit interesting that when TCNJ was down 2-0, Kaluzny might try to get to his knees and is going to be helped off the ice there. And it looks like he's favoring his left leg. Very scary looking play as it looks like he's going to be helped to the locker room. And it's a good sight to see Connor Kaluzny at least able to try and get up, being helped off by Collins and White Duck, it looks like. White Duck nearly losing an edge, just trying to help his teammate off. And again, this is the unfortunate part about hockey. And we hope nothing but the best for Connor Kaluzny as he's helped off by a couple of his teammates. Like we said, these guys are warriors. There's a reason why people love the sport of hockey, and there's a reason why hockey is just as popular as it is, just being a contact sport, and unfortunately people just get a little banged up and a little injured sometimes. So we'll wait to hear on the condition of Connor Kaluzny, and it doesn't look like there's going to be any penalty towards Sislo. Unfortunately, that's just really a hockey play at that. It was not able to look back on the stream, but just mentally, from what I was able to see, it just like Sislo. I think Kaluzny was just caught in the railroad tracks at the wrong time as Sislo just made a massive, massive hit on Kaluzny. But sticks in the air, 2 minutes to go in period number 2. We still have the rest of a hockey game to play as that'll get sent up into the high netting, nearly up into the American flag. And like I've been trying to say for the last 5 minutes, I found it interesting that TCNJ was down by 2 goals and everybody else was only down by 1. Now TCNJ is down by 1 and everybody else is down by multiple goals. NC State currently up 4-1 on Ryder. And Fordham is still having a little bit of a lead there on Ramapo. $1:37 to go in this second period as the Lions look to tie it up late to set up a dogfight for a third period. Katsonis crashing in. Ahearns with a burst of speed, and here he comes. Ahearns sending it in. Ahearns through the defense, trying to set up for North, right at the doorstep. Oh, it just goes wide. Namel with an opportunity. DiPiandra from long range, blocked aside by Bucinich. North trying to set things up again. That's actually Zacharine who's come down to the second line, and Schwartz isn't able to get set up. Now Helkowski trying to get past DiPiandra. A very gassed defense and going awkwardly in the boards there was a Golden Griffin. DiPiandra sending it in. Now an opportunity for TCNJ. They can't connect. Back across. Logan May had a wide open lane, but he couldn't get the puck on the tape. And under a minute to play here. Bucinich will send one off. Comes back over to Schwartz. Wide open for Zacharine. Here he comes. Bucinich says no. 24 seconds to go in the period. Schwartz keeping it in, and not able to keep it in there was Liam Wicks. Tough to tag out. Wicks with a burst of speed. Wicks looking for the dangles, looking for the backhander. There was Calhoun. Rather, that was Neudorf who was looking for his second of the evening. Calhoun also looking for a second. Glove down. Neudorf looking for a shot. Time will expire. And a flurry of chances in front for Canisius, looking to get back into the dance. But TCNJ, with Colin Phillips' first goal of 24-25, will put the Lions down only by 1 going into the second, and they are just trying to get back into this dance here with Canisius really, really heavy in the shot count, 40-16 in favor of the Golden Griffs. But we'll step aside for a brief moment. You're watching TCNJ Ice Hockey live on Breakout Sports Broadcasting. And we're getting ready to kick things off for period number 3 tonight at the TSAI Field House for TCNJ ACHA Ice Hockey, live on Breakout Sports Broadcasting. My name is Trey Wright, and the Lions trail the Golden Griffins of Canisius 2-1 going into the third period. And right now, pulling a little bit of a Kevin Harlan. I'm calling both games as Fordham, or rather Ramapo, tied things up at 4 with the Rams of Fordham. 42 seconds to go, face off to the left-hand side of the goaltender. Fordham wins the draw, tied things up at 4, and these two teams potentially going into overtime. Short side opportunity down the far side. Fordham looking for a chance, blocked away. 27 seconds to go in the opportunity. Ramapo back the other way, 1-on-2 chance for the Roadrunners. And clearing that one down was the Fordham goaltender. 17 seconds to go in that game. 3:10 to go in intermission so far for this one. A recap of the goals in this game. Jesse Calhoun and Kyle Neudorf were able to get on the board for Canisius. And it was Colin Phillips who was able to draw in, or rather draw TCNJ within 1 to bring us to where we are here, as both teams have come back to their benches, just waiting on some referees here to put the post back on. So we're in a little bit of a holding pattern here, and hey, if we were back at Iceland, back where our Ryder was playing last season, I'd go on there and I'd put the nets back on myself, because why not? So with 17 seconds to go in the Ramapo-Fordham game, we'll call that coverage radio style as we await the referees to come onto the ice. 2:12 to go in the intermission, and now we get a timeout for Ramapo with 17 seconds to go in a 4-4 game. Fordham with 50 shots on net, Ramapo 37. Now the referees will come out. We'll see if we'll get period number 3 from TSAI started before the game will undoubtedly go into overtime up at the Ice Vault in Wayne. Ramapo, who was down 4-2 at one point, able to come back and trying to defeat the Rams of Fordham in an AAU Division II matchup. Referees are out here at TSAI. And we're trying to get things going here. This is game number 1 of the weekend matchup between TCNJ and Canisius. We'll be back here at TSAI tomorrow afternoon at 1 p.m. Eastern. These two teams will face off once again. And now it appears that Fordham called a timeout of their own, so we'll step aside from the radio broadcast of that game and then focus on the broadcast here, video-wise and audio-wise, live from the TSAI Field House. 2-1 your score. Waiting for the score bug to come up here. There it is. Pachalski and Neudorf meet at the dot, and we're underway. Neudorf will take it, trying to get it up to Wicks, who is the one person on that Canisius line that does not have a goal yet so far in this game. Saved by Cisno. Now Wicks setting it up for Calhoun. His stick is lifted by Pachalski. Sets it back over to Schwartz. Neudorf will find it in the corner. Hunted by Gali. Back over to Calhoun. Shot from him goes wide. Wicks trying to spring Calhoun in the low slot. Nothing there. Now the Lions will come back with it the other direction. Cislo takes it across. He'll fire it in. And Ursu will take it away. And that'll be cleared out of harm's way and not able to beat out the icing with Jesse Calhoun. Scott Martin was just a little too far out in front for his liking. So 52 seconds gone in the third period here at TSAI. Fordham and Ramapo going into overtime. Canisius will win the draw. Wicks trying to take it out of his own end as the Lions look to tie it up. Martin and Calhoun coming together, the two captains exchanging a couple words before getting back into the action. Kushner looking for it, right at the doorstep was May, but he couldn't get a handle on it. And Neudorf down to one knee, got the puck for a brief moment. Kushner sends it back in. Bowen back over to Collins. Collins will send it back over to Stout as the 291s will connect. Kushner trying to get it, Collins back with it. Collins hounded from behind there by a TCNJ skater. That was Phillips, I believe. Actually, Jake Barrera, rather. Jagger North up the other way, 3-on-3. North gets halted there by Gatsonis, rather Martin. And Martin will try and take it away. Back over to Kushner. Kick pass soccer-wise over to Korobko. And he'll dump in as TCNJ will chase. Not able to stop it there was Ursu as White Duck will try and clear it out of the zone. He is successful at that. And Korobko will steer it away from North. Over to Gatsonis. Gatsonis off his stick. Here it comes back across. And not able to get anything there was Aherns, who was trying to get it over to North on the other side. Aherns dancing through the defense, looking to go top shelf, but not able to put it where Mama hides the cookies. And it goes up into the netting. 17:33 to go here, and this one overtime has just started at Fordham. At Ramapo, rather. Ramapo and Fordham tied at 4. Once we know the winner of that game, we will let you know as that shot from Bandolin blocked in front. Korobko will take it off. 3-on-2 of TCNJ hurries. Rather, that's Stefanik and right down Broadway for Greenspoon. And a beautiful save by Ursu, his best stop of the evening. That was Matty Greenspoon who was going right down Broadway. Ursu stared him down. And that'll go down for an icing. And Ben Nymul was a little perplexed why, but nonetheless, it'll go against the Griffins. 17:09 to go now. It'll be Joey Greenspoon and Nate Rivet taking the draw. Rivet will win it, gets back over to DiPiandra. And Rivet back with it. Drops back across over to Nymul. Ben Nymul takes it behind Busanich's cage, gets it over to Schwartz. Schwartz puts one on a tee, looking for the redirect in front, nothing there. Nymul will take it back the other way. Zacharina at the doorstep, nobody knows where it went again. And Joey Greenspoon will take it out, and Greenspoon with a 2-on-1 if he can hurry. Schwartz will bat it out of there. Santo nearly offside, and TCNJ had to give up possession to prevent from going offside. Depadrina now. Trying to take it back as Jesse Calhoun will skate back onto the ice. Calhoun down the near side, skating through the defense, off of the pad, looking for his first of the night was Wicks, and he wasn't able to bury the rebound. Shots 43-17 in favor of Canisius, and this is really shaping up to be one heck of a final third period here from Cy. And another great match tomorrow, 1 o'clock Eastern, right here at Cy. As Scott Martin will set up the center. Martin to Helkowski, back over to Martin. Martin gets hit into the boards there by Bowen. And trying to get out of there was Neudorf. Sending it across, and Helkowski brings it back in. Neudorf will take it away, nearly blocked in front from Phillips. Calhoun will keep it going, taken away by Pachalski. And Wicks will receive the turnover there, trying to get it in front, trying an opportunity for Canisius, and once again, bowling night at Cy as 3 skaters will collide and nearly fall to the ice, as that was a great opportunity for Zacharine. Rather, Neudorf in front. Phillips looking for a chance. Glove down there by Neudorf again. Neudorf to Calhoun, back over to Bowen. Bowen will dump it in. Fresh skaters will come on for Canisius. A little bit of a slow change, but TCNJ not able to take advantage of that. And Zacharine just trying to get it out. Out of neutral territory for a brief moment, comes back in. Helkowski chasing forward for the Lions. He and Collins will come together, gets it over to White Duck. White Duck across, a little too far ahead for Zacharine. He's able to negate the icing, though, and it comes over to Gatsonis. Under 15 to play in period number 3. Kushner had a chance to potentially split the D, but it couldn't quite corral the puck. White Duck will take it ahead. Connects across to Aherns. Aherns looking to go through the defense, but he lost the puck behind him. Gatsonis will collect it. Aherns will take it away. Trying to get it there. Hit behind the play was Zacharine. And nobody was home there at the near circle. Collins across. Zacharine fighting for it. Back over to Aherns. Aherns, Zacharine in the low slot and just goes up into the netting. Jonah Aherns has been on fire so far, as it is still in overtime with 1:36 to go between Ramapo and Fordham. As we'll give you coverage of both games here on Breakout Sports Broadcasting, one of them in overtime and one of them with 14:15 to go in the third rather. Spinning around there was Lagriola. Sislo having to dance around the linesman to get it over to Kushner. Kushner tried to get it over to Barrera, but he wasn't able to get it there. Back over to May. 3-on-2 for the Lions if they hurry. May trying to get around, but he's stick lifted there from Schwartz. And now taken out of his own end there was Namul, and Ramapo has won it in overtime. Big hit behind the play. Barrera will get into it. That was Rive who had a hit on Sislo. Remember that Sislo hit against Connor Kaluzny late in the second period. DiPiandra lost it at the point. Here comes May on a breakaway. Logan May in on Ursu. What a save! Holy Christmas! Such a good save. I kicked the table and nearly brought the whole broadcast down. May on a breakaway. It was nearly Mayday here at TSAI. Ursu has come up big so far in this game, and it has just been absolutely fantastic goaltending from either side so far tonight. Big collision between Stout and somebody. That was Andrew Johnson, who's going to get tied up, and now we're going to get a holding call against Nick Stout. Stout and Johnson a little tied up there, and we'll see if it's just Stout going to the box here. And it's just going to be Stout going for 2 for holding, 12:52 to go.
TCNJ minor penalty number 91, Nick Stout, 2-minute minor for holding. Time of the penalty, 12 minutes, 52 seconds. Stout, 2 minutes for holding, 12:52 in the third period.
And not even 10 seconds into the power play, Canisius scores. Stout very frustrated coming out of the box. It's a power play goal, and it's going to go to Jonah Aherns, his first of the night. Second power play goal of the evening for Canisius, and they redraw in front, 3-1. We'll get the official wording on the assists. It's going to be Aherns from North and Bowen, it looks like. And that one covered up by Businic. 12:33 to go here in the third period.
Canisius goal, his fourth of the season, scored by number 72, Jonah Aherns, assisted by number 86, Jagger North, and number 55, Matthew Bowen.
Businic will stop play as the net becomes dislodged. And now the journey gets a little bit tougher for this TCNJ program. Again, just being outshot by a lot, 45-18. And shot from Neudorf gets skied up into the rafters. Riders still down 4-1, our out-of-town scoreboards. TCNJ currently down by 2, trailing 3-1 as that shot from Neudorf once again, paddled aside by Busnich. Ramapo right now looks to be the only team that could win here tonight, although we have seen stranger things from TCNJ so far in 24-25. And again, these two teams playing here tomorrow. Canisius looking for their third sweep of a weekend sweep this season so far, as Walter wasn't able to spring that for a partial breakaway. Sisla will take it in. Helkowski was maybe a little offside there, as waffleboarding into the corner was Ursu. Calhoun, who got the scoring started early in the first, dumps it off of the glass there. One hop of the dasher board as Gali will take it in. Gali from mid-range, covered by, once again, by Caleb Ursu. And like we've said, we'll be back here tomorrow afternoon. It's actually going to be a triple header for us on Breakout tomorrow. Ramapo up at Ice Fault. TCNJ gets the matinee broadcast, and then got to trek it all the way over to Rutgers while they'll face the Owls of Temple. Ursu makes another stop. Rutgers kicking off from Pro Skate at 8:15. Ramapo sometime tomorrow. We'll get the time confirmation shortly, and of course, 1:15 puck drop tomorrow afternoon, so broadcast starting at 1 o'clock tomorrow on BSB. That'll go the length of the ice. And an icing call a little late there as Korobko nearly got ran over. So it's going to be a 7:45 game tomorrow afternoon against Newman. Tomorrow evening, rather, against Newman. So Saturday afternoon matinee for the Lions is keeping that in there was Korobko. And then 8:15 or 7:30 and 7:45 respectively for Rutgers and Ramapo. Tomorrow evening, so chalk schedule full of hockey tomorrow. 2 ACHA D1 broadcasts and AAU D2. As Gatsonis lays a huge hit on Jagger North. North ran right into the clothesline. As Canisius just trying to waste a little bit of time, turnover behind Busnich. North, who has had 6 scoring chances, will let that one fly out of the zone. Korobko racing for it. Rather, that's Logan May. Not able to get to it in time, and now it'll be, no, not another icing call against Canisius, and now a little bit of confusion. As Canisius was originally going to stay on their bench for the icing, but now nobody knows where they're going to be for this next little change. Martin will get it over to Gatsonis behind the cage. Gatsonis sends it back up to Martin. Ellis hit. Martin with the puck right at the feet, taken away there by Reve. Reve, who has had a goal in every single game so far, sets it up. Launching it was Bandolin. He'll have another follow-up opportunity, spiked out of the air by Martin. Looking like a little bit of a volleyball player there. As Barrera, near side, takes a low angle hit from Bandolin once again. De Pedrina taking it away there as that was Namul who had an opportunity. Phillips was the lone goal of the night for the Lions so far, trying to get in his own end, tries to get it over to Jack Ellis. He's tied up for a brief moment. Martin and Stout, now the D pair. As a pass for Stefanik goes a little too far wide. As DePadria will collide there a little bit. Stefanik caught offside. He and DePadria will collide for a brief moment, clipping each other. We continue to play on. Andrews will send it up for Lekumsky, taken away by Phillips. And May trying to take it away, and just wide of the net there for Logan May. Ellis hit by Lekumsky in the corner. Gets it back over to Stefanik. Martin behind the cage, Rather, that was Logan May. Rather, Colin Phillips, third time's the charm there, sending it through traffic. Colin Phillips wasn't able to get it, and he is cross-checked to the ice. Phillips cross-checked, and Andrews had a partial breakaway. Stefanik, little trouble getting off. Bowling night once again, bodies flying all over the place. As Canisius pinning it in their own zone. Viney with an opportunity, looking for the backhand boost, which makes it stop. Viney looking for it again. That one comes all the way out. It's about 6 or 7 different skaters in the last 45 seconds just falling on the ice. Nearly an eighth as Bowen nearly lost an edge. Viney and Gatsonis came together. He'll come back over to Neudorf. Neudorf trying to skate through. He cannot do it. Santo loses an edge. Sets it back up for Canisius. Couldn't quite get it there. Was Okulowicz. Santo blows a tire again. Right at the doorstep was Calhoun. He couldn't get it. White Duck from the point. Nearly hit by Santo. Santo will reverberate off of White Duck. He's able to get back to his skates. Trying to get over to Lagriola. He's hit, and now we're going to get a roughing call against Quinn Collins. Extra skater wasn't able to come back on, as that one will go into the stands. And it looks like Quinn Collins is going to get a minor for roughing here. And TCNJ with their another hour power play opportunity. 7:19 to go in period number 3. It's actually going to be a hit to the head minor. We'll see if it's a minor or a major. It should be a minor penalty against Collins. It is going to be a minor. Ellis will keep it in at the point. Back across over to May. Over to Ellis. Back to Martin. Ellis winds, fires, trying to go through the net. Ursu on his rump. And cleared out of there by Canisius.
Canisius minor penalty number 91, Quinn Collins, 2 minutes for head contact.
Schwartz trying to dig it out of there. May says no, keeps it in the zone. 1:23 to go in the power play. TCNJ looking to knot it back up. Right at the doorstep, they score! Redirected in front, and the Lions connect on the power play. Helkowski was the one who was at the doorstep. Ellis with another point on the night. Looks like it'll go to May for the secondary assist. And the power play connects once again for TCNJ, and they draw back within 1. And it's going to be from Helkowski from May, so Ellis wasn't in that, and the Lions right back into this one.
Goal! His 4th of the season, scored by number 8, Colin Helkowski. Assisted by number 21, Logan May.
So Helkowski's 4th goal of the season brings TCNJ back within 1. And they have 6 minutes to work with to try and tie this game up, and looking for their biggest upset of the season thus far. Calhoun looking for the stretch pass, goes a little wide of him. He and Stout will come together as Kushner tries to dig it out. May, a beautiful hit there on Okulowicz. Caught right in the train tracks there. Was the unlucky number 7 of Okulowicz. White Duck fires one over the bar. Closing on 5:47 to go. Right at the point, right in the low slot rather, was Liam Wicks. Looking to get in on the scoring. Trying to dig it out of there was Neudorf. It'll finally come back out. Kushner will get on his horse. Logan May looking to set things up. Goes along the half wall. May is going to blow a tire, and Now we're going to get a penalty here, or a stoppage of play. It looks like it is just going to be an offsides, rather. Rather, it's going to be an icing call. 5:21 to go in period number 3. And the Lions win the draw. Sislo trying to get it up to Gali. Pacholski hounded from behind. Aherns will pickpocket him. Canisius is onside, looking for another insurance goal right at the doorstep. Not able to corral it was North. Rebound collected by Walter. And Aherns looking for another goal. Set to the point. White Duck through traffic. Blocked in front. Digging at it was Canisius. And not able to get a shot off with Zacharine. 5 minutes to go as Ahern looks for his back-to-back goals. Swatted out of there by a Lion. Helkowski looking for the equalizer. He's able to get it out of his own end. White Duck just barely gets rid of it as he was right in the railroad tracks. Ursu taking it back and will slow the tempo. Hit behind the cage. Helkowski into White Duck. White Duck will give him a little bit of a whack behind the play. Helkowski getting into it. The freshman from Mickleton, New Jersey, right now bringing this TCNJ team within 1. Pacholski looking for Helkowski again. He just shoots it wide. Helkowski gets physical, comes back over to North. Pacholski will take it away, dumping it in, trying to get fresh legs on as Pacholski took a whack down low, and he's hurting. Trying to get off the ice as he'll give Bandelin a little bit of a whack himself. And Pacholski will remain on with the puck in TCNJ's own end. 3:43 now to go in the game. The Lions looking to tie things up and potentially send this game into overtime. Stefanik had an opportunity, goes underneath of his stick. Icing is waved off. Stefanik looking for an opportunity in front. Martin will keep it in the zone. 3:25 now to go in the third. Stefanik lost it. Deperdia sending it across, sending it up into the netting was White Duck. Rather, that was Namul. And a stoppage with 3:15 to go, and everybody just trying to catch their breath, but it is definitely the witching hour at TSAI right now. Wicks and Barrera meet at the dot. TCNJ will win it. They've got 3:11 to work with. They want to get back into this game and tie it up. Wicks will take the seam pass away. Will send it into the zone. Trying to waste as much time as possible. And will TCNJ elect to pull Mike Bucinich? 57 seconds away from that window opening, but it's not going to be here as the Lions ice it. If you're TCNJ, just trying to get into overtime alone against this very stacked Canisius squad would be a feat in its own, especially in your first game in the NECHL of the season. Trying to set the tone early that they are not a force to be messed with. As Stout trying to get it out of his own end. Barrera will take it. May coming up the near side. May trying to get around Bowen. He will, looking for an opportunity. Ellis at the doorstep, not able to get it. Comes all the way out. Bucinich will cover it up. 2:34 now to go in the third as the intensity ramps up another notch. Scott Martin, captain of this Lions squad, dumps it in. Bucinich still waiting for the signal to come to the bench. Ellis tried to get it over to Martin. He couldn't find it. He's able to get it back over. Long-range opportunity. Blocked. Calhoun will get it. And now a one-on-one as Bowen will try and take it along the near side. Bowen away. Walter with a good block. Now approaching the final 120 of this game. Stefanik is dropped down low. No call on the play this late into the game. Referee is going to let them play unless it's egregious. White Duck sending it in. Bucinich still in the cage, 1:44 to go. Andrew Duco waiting for this Lions team to establish possession before pulling his goaltender. 50 shots on Bucinich so far. He is the reason TCNJ is only trailing by 1. Sending it out of harm's way. Helkowski will take it. He'll send it in. 1:25 now to go. Bucinich at the top of his crease. Stefanik can't keep it in. It's brought back out and collected by Stout. Bucinich not with the signal yet. Pacholski will take it away. He sees the puck knocked off of his stick by Aherns. That one sent in. 69 seconds to go here in period number 3, approaching on 1 minute to play in the third.
1 minute remaining in the third period.
TCNJ with time winding down, trying to get 1 goal here in the next 50 seconds to send this into overtime. Bowen wasting a little bit of time, and Bucinich will elect to cover it as he was hounded there by Jagger North. With 45.7 seconds to go, and we'll see if Duca will elect to use a timeout here. Trying to draw something up. And Duca will, in fact, use his timeout. So at 45.7 to go. TCNJ with a long road ahead of them. A face-off in their own end to left side of Mike Bucinich, who has saved 49 shots tonight against a Canisius squad that has been hammering that cage so far. TCNJ only putting 23 shots on the Caleb Ursu. Ursu with 21 saves, 49 for Bucinich. And if TCNJ is able to send this into overtime, I think that in itself would be a huge feat. David versus Goliath, the Lion versus the Griffin. 45.7 to try and get TCNJ back into this contest. Bucinich will skate back into his own end. A very crucial face-off for TCNJ to win if they want to get back into this. Martin and Aherns fighting for it. May will send it, looking for the stretch pass a little too wide. Helkowski racing for the icing, and Bowen was just a half step in front. I get the play call, but Helkowski just a little too far back and wasting about 9 precious seconds off the clock, and they'll redo it again. I like the Hail Mary pass, but just a little too much there for Helkowski. Martin has to win the draw again. He will. Sets it back over to May. May will spin around, time winding down, sets it up to Helkowski. Intercepted by Bowen. Helkowski trying to stick lift Bowen, comes back into the TCNJ end. Under 30 to play in the third period, taken away by Zacharine. 3-on-2 back the other way. Ahern loans it up, back over to Jagger North, back across. Aherns wasn't able to get it. Aherns in front. 13 seconds to go, blocked in front by Barrera. Trying to wind this down are Canisius. 5 seconds to go. Having to hurry is Helkowski, dancing through the defense, but Zacharine will take it back, and that will do it. Time coming down a little too far short as TCNJ will fall to Canisius 3-2 your final. But it's been the story of this season so far. What a performance from Mike Bucinich in net, facing 52 shots and only letting 3 in, 49 saves for the senior. Unfortunately, TCNJ just not able to connect on the other end. We're able to get 2 power play goals tonight, but nothing even strength. And they will fall in their first NECHL matchup of the season. 3-2 your final, but that's going to do it here for tonight's coverage. Thank you so much for tuning in to tonight's broadcast of TCNJ Hockey, and we'll be right back here tomorrow afternoon, 1 o'clock broadcast time, 1:15 puck drop, as there'll be a rematch between the Golden Griffins of Canisius and the Lions of TCNJ here on Breakout Sports Broadcasting. On behalf of BSB, Colton Reynolds, Emily Codd, my name is Trey Wright. Have a good evening, ladies and gentlemen.